El Paso is nestled within the most arid region of the state in the northern part of the Chihuahuan Desert. Here, droughts are all too familiar, with rainfall averaging about 9.4 inches per year. This year, rainfall to date is 3 inches below normal. The city cannot rely solely on the elements for its survival.
The city of El Paso uses surface water from the Rio Grande and groundwater from 2 different bolsons or aquifers to supply the city with its water. In terms of sharing, from groundwater perspective, we are standing on top of the Waco bolson. The Waco bolson actually goes into New Mexico to the north, and we're in Texas here, and then to the south of us, the Waco bolson is in Mexico. And then also on the other side, our other aquifer is the Mesilla bolson, and that goes into New Mexico, Texas, and Mexico. And then likewise, the Rio Grande resource is shared amongst the states of New Mexico, Texas, and the state of Chihuahua. It's different than other parts of the state are reliant maybe on just surface water, like a lake or a reservoir, like Austin. And then the city of San Antonio is fully reliant on groundwater. We utilize both sources of water to meet the city's demand. During periods of drought, we have to pump more and more of our groundwater resources. When this well is finally equipped, it'll be connected to our distribution system, and then it'll ultimately go to the airport reservoir and a supply, very important supply for the airport area. We have over 150 wells in the city of El Paso.
With limited resources and a growing population, the El Paso Water Utilities has had to adapt and be creative to meet the city's needs. In 1990, the more than 540,000 residents of the El Paso Water Utility Service area used nearly 38 billion gallons of water. Despite the population's increase of more than 200,000, only 37.4 billion gallons of water were used in 2010. Between shifting from groundwater and surface water supplies, educating the community about conservation practices, and being innovative, the El Paso region has managed to avoid crisis-level shortages. Among the innovations was building the largest inland desalination plant in the world.
The Rio Grande is subject to drought. We've been in a drought for the past 17 years. And one of the impaired waters that we have access to here is brackish water. Brackish water is water that's too salty to drink, but not as salty as the ocean. And where we stand here on this aquifer, there's a large amount, way more than the fresh water that's contained. This plant treats that brackish water to drinking water quality standards for use in the distribution system.
While the desalination plant has created a new source of water for the region, the water utility continues to find ways to diversify. Since 1985, the El Paso Water Utilities has been using wastewater treated to drinking water standards for irrigation and to recharge the aquifer. It is now in the beginning process of building a pilot advanced purified water treatment plant.
This plant here, the Fred Hervey Reclamation Plant, is very similar to what we'll be doing with the Advanced Purified Water Treatment Plant. The only real difference is the technology is a little newer, but it's the same basic concept. And then instead of taking the treated water that's treated to drinking water standards, we're going to take that pure water and put it directly into the distribution system. Whereas here at the Fred Hervey plant, that pure water is actually pumped back into the aquifer to recharge the aquifer for later use. This is one of the first plants in the nation to actually treat wastewater to drinking water standards.
Experts say the city's future water demands will be met through the efforts and innovations that have already been implemented over the past decades and should not be significantly impacted by extreme climate change, despite being located in the most arid region of the state.